and welcome to our brand new season of Showbiz Insider. That's your review of the top entertainment news stories of the month. I'm Zoe, and this is, of course, Cavalli Club Dubai. So the scene kicked off in style with megastars in the city. Dubai Music Week brought international musicians. Our local arts calendar kicked off with quite an exciting announcement. And we had some of the biggest names in comedy jetting in, not just for a giggle. They're also setting up a brand new comedy scene right here in Dubai. Take a look. The brand new Comedy Oasis at the Habtoor Grand launched with some of the biggest names in international comedy. Host and concept creator Ahmed is best known for the Axis of Evil comedy tour and hit series Sullivan & Son, a serious comedic talent who's even had dinner with Obama. But first, we catch up with the supercharged star of the opening show, the extra naughty but extra nice Vincent Oshana. So Vince, Comedy Oasis, let's talk a little bit about creating a whole comedy scene right here in Dubai.
Okay, I think it's awesome. It's like one of the fastest growing cities in the world.
Yeah.
If everybody else in the entire world is doing it and this place is so advanced, I think, why not?
It's amazing that it hasn't already started.
That's what I don't understand. Yeah, it took one day, like, I don't know what guy, Ahmed, just one day was like, comedy, and now I flew all the way here and I'm in freaking Dubai.
You know, comedy. I think it started with Access of Evil a little
while ago, but at least now it's taken that long because Access of Evil hasn't been out for a while. Now it's finally like comedy club. You guys, they should have had a comedy club here.
Talking about like beginnings, how did you personally get into comedy? What's your personal journey?
I was as a child growing up in New York, you know, Middle Eastern family, and
were you always funny?
I was always, and you know what, you want to laugh? My father and his Middle Eastern friends would all hang out and they would drink, and my dad at one point would be like, Vinny, and I'd come in there and I'd be like, what? He's like, just go in the middle and go. And I would just stand in the middle of these drunk guys and just make fun of everybody and
just perform.
I sort of it was nervous, but now I'm not nervous on stage because of that.
So in terms of like your sets and what you're doing on stage, what's your creative process? Like, is it material from real life, or is it stuff you know you've created in your head? Is it storytelling?
I think I'm a mix of everything. If something's new happening in the news, I like to hit that right when I go up there.
Yeah.
And that just shows that you're diverse. So you can come up with stuff on the cusp.
So current affairs.
Current affairs is good when something's going on, but.
So do you find that you very much tailor your sets to your audience?
Audience, 100%. Yeah. 100%. So I was in the United States Air Force for 6 years. My brother's in the Air Force, my sister's in the Air Force, and yeah, I'd get stationed all these different places, and it was just, I was always making them all laugh. And I remember the one time it really hit me, I was in Great Falls, Montana, and they did a huge, like 200, every week there was like 200 people at this bar, and they'd bring comedians in. And one day I was sitting by the stage, and the comedian wasn't on stage yet, and they're like, Vinny, go. I grabbed the mic, and I just made fun of everybody that was in the military with us. So it was, once I did that, and it was scary. Think about this. It was scarier going on stage and being somewhere with a gun, not knowing who's looking at you. Is that crazy?
It was scary to go on stage.
It was scary to go on stage.
Right.
Because everybody's just staring at you.
So I got deployed to Iraq, all right? I'm going to Iraq, and my mom's crying. She's like, please, when you go, be careful. I'm like, Mom, I'm not stupid. I hear, I'm down. She's like, no, I'm not worried about that. She's like, be careful because you're going there. You might run into people there that we know. I swear to God, and it hit me. I was like, oh, she's right. Like, could you imagine me and like that about to kick down the door, right? Bro, I was there. Like, you imagine me and my squad are there, and as I kick down the door, I'm like, everybody get down! And my uncle's standing there like, Vinny? I'm like, Uncle Colin!
On a kind of serious note, do you really think that comedy does have the power to heal? You know, when you go into like conflict zones, that kind of thing, and having comedy shows?
100. I think 100%. When I'm on stage, I don't care what's going in if somebody passed away in your life, how serious the situation is, how stressed out you are. I'm taking away all that. You're not thinking about any of that. You're just thinking about what's coming out of my mouth, and I think that's a good gift from God to take that away from people, so they're not thinking about seriousness.
Talking about families, do you feel like your heritage, because you have an Iranian side as well, do you feel that it affects your work and your comedy? Do you always integrate it?
Not always. I actually kind of would say this, but especially in Hollywood, to try to get away from it, you have to sometimes just be just be funny, because if they see you as just that guy that's like, because you know how many roles of shows I go for where the lines are like, everybody get down or you're going to the, I'm like,
So it's like total stereotyping.
it's so total
Right.
stereotype.
Okay.
Like I'm at there's no show right now that has a lead guy that's Middle Eastern.
It's just bonkers. I mean, it's
Isn't
just
that
crazy.
weird though? Why do you, I mean, it's because we're at war with the Middle East, always fighting the Middle East. They can't make us look good on television. And this is coming from an ex-soldier. As long as they're fighting and bombing, they can't make me and Ahmed look good, because middle America is gonna watch that and go, wait a minute, they're actually not what the media and all this.
But what you guys are doing is really important, because I mean, you really are providing a platform for cross-cultural dialogue.
100%.
And I mean, you're role models for this. Is that a heavy title? Or?
It's a heavy title, but it's a title that I'll take on like freely and happily.
If you weren't a comedian, what would you be? You've done Soldier.
Wow, I've done Soldier. Wow, that's a really
Good
I'd probably be doing what you're doing.
Wait,
if I was a comedian.
like
I'd be interviewing people.
in
No,
my
I know.
body?
Yeah, I'd be wearing black and I'd be
Do what
talking to
I'm
the hookah. No, I think I would be doing something in the entertainment business.
Okay.
But I don't know. That's a really good question. If I wasn't funny, I probably would have been stuck. I probably would have been stuck in the military.
Right.
So I'm happy that.
Thank goodness for being funny. 3 words.
Yes.
Not marrying me yet. 3 words to sum up the Comedy Oasis tonight.
Off the chain.
Fun, fun, fun.
I've never laughed this hard, bro. This guy tries to order Frappuccino. You know what Frappuccinos? He tries to order 2 Frappuccino, but he can't say it, so he uses sound effects. He just walks up, he goes up and goes, hey, give me 2 medium. Bro, I was crying. People were crying, laughing. I was like, what if he didn't want whipped cream? Would he have gone 2? Don't. Good? No, sugar, hard, not good.
Continuing the more serious conversations of stereotyping and content creation, meet Mr. Comedy Oasis himself, Ahmed.
Well, I started when I was 24 years old. I'm 45 now, and I know I look great.
22. I was just gonna say 22.
I look gray. And I did it really. I got into stand-up comedy out of frustration. I wasn't getting a lot of roles in Hollywood. The ones I was getting were very stereotypical.
Right.
The terrorist, the cab
Yeah.
driver, the prince, sleazy prince. You know.
I was interested talking to Vincent about this, and it's kind of crazy that that's still happening.
Oh, it's weird because I've been at this 20 years, and I'll tell you why it's crazy, because the media and the American propaganda continues to perpetuate the stereotype by showing negative images of us. And
Right.
you know, GQ magazine in the United States, it was the cover with Amy Schumer, just did a whole 5-page spread on myself and 4 other Middle Eastern actors about the struggles of Hollywood. They had us dress up as iconic actors from big movies. So they had me dress up as Superman.
Yeah, I love it. I was gonna
You know,
say
Clark Kent
superheroes.
coming through the. So I thought that was cool, but even then, you have a big article in GQ magazine, and Hollywood still, they just don't care, you know.
Wow, but you have been doing a huge amount of work. Let's talk a little bit about Sullivan and Son. What's it like working with Vince Vaughn?
He's funny. He's Vince Vaughn. You know, he's a funny guy. He's funny on stage, funny off stage. One of the smartest guys I've ever met. Very objective. He's also a producer and a writer, and he has great vision. You know, he's a father and a husband as well, and you know, he nurtures a lot of people. He cradles a lot of talent, and he's championed a lot of people's careers, and he's definitely championed mine.
Sure.
Yeah.
So from small screen to big screen, you've done a lot of film work as well, like Iron Man.
Yeah.
What is your personal preference? Is it acting or is it comedy and stand-up?
I like the stand-up comedy because you're in the moment and it's risky and there's no second take.
What's your personal style? Is it like storytelling? Is it like
I'm more
based
like
on?
I'm more like storytelling. You know, unfortunately for this situation for Comedy Oasis, I'm not performing, I'm just producing it.
Right.
I will come back and do my own one-man show, probably like once every 6 months or so, but for me, I'm trying to be more of like the producer and
Is that a little frustrating for you? Is that part of you? It's like, oh, hang on, I just want to get up there and do my thing.
yeah, I mean, a part of me just wants to be free and have that sort of whatever, left brain, right foot brain, just be creative, and the other part of me likes to be the hands-on business, you know, man of the.
So when you are
project.
being creative, I mean, where does your material come from? What really inspires
It normally happens when uncomfortable things occur in my life.
How uncomfortable.
So it's like anything like, not too tragic, but you know, like breakups are always fun to talk about. Observational stuff, going to Starbucks. You know, I talk a lot about my family. I talk about being named Ahmed and trying to travel around the aviation system. And lately, some of my material has been about turning 45 and still being single and having pressure from my parents and my mother especially
Does
to
that
say,
still
oh yeah.
Do you know what's interesting though? You were saying that you know, a lot of your material comes from quite dark times. I mean, I kind of imagine that with like painters and artists.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize with comics it was like that too.
Most comedians write their jokes based on stuff that wasn't funny at the time.
Yeah, is it
About
therapeutic for yourself?
It is. It's like getting paid to have the audience be your therapist, because when they're laughing, then it kind of validates what you were thinking and what you wanted to get across.
Now I know you were shooting in Syria, in
Syria,
Palestine,
right before the revolution started.
What was
there.
your experience working over there?
You know, the Syrian people, they're such great people, and you know, we had such a great experience in Palestine, and a lot of Palestinians, like almost 2,000 Palestinians came out to watch a comedy show, which I thought was incredible. Jordan, beautiful country, Oman. So yeah, you know, each country has its own sort of characteristics around it, and but they all laugh the same, which is great.
Right.
Yeah.
And so do you feel that you're actually moving more into the production and directorial roles, or are you still kind of like, no, comedy is still my passion?
Stand-up comedy pays the bills, and I like doing it. It's fun for me.
Right.
But as
and
I'm
you
getting,
got to meet President Obama. I heard.
President Obama met me. But,
Did he like you?
yeah, he was cool. You know.
How's he doing?
He's doing all right. You know, the Obama, he's all right. You know, as I'm getting older, I'm kind of sitting more like in the producer chair, the director chair, and the writer's chair, and polar.
Do you feel like pressure to be funny all the time? So if you're on a date, do you think, oh God, I gotta be funny?
No, I had somebody interviewing me the other day, and she says, Ahmed, you're very serious. And I said, comedy's serious business, you know.
There you go, it's a serious business, and those guys are seriously funny. And we have loads more coming up in October with the Dubai Comedy Festival. That's with the big guns Dave Chappelle, Trevor Noah, and Mac King. And from serious comedy stars to musical megastars, next up it's Dubai Music Week.